Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and today in this video we are going to study about Introduction to Innate Immunity. What do we mean by innate immunity? Innate immunity means immunity that we carry from birth. We have two kinds of immunity, one is innate, another one is adaptive. So innate means the immunity which we carry since our birth. Adaptive means it's the immunity which we acquire during our lifetime. So under innate immunity, first of all, we have the physical barrier, which constitute the first line of defense, the first protective line that helps to protect our body from the pathogens. So what is the first line of defense? Our skin. So the skin is the first barrier for the pathogens to enter our body. So apart from skin, we have multiple openings in our body like ears, nose, mouth, vagina. So we have multiple openings in our body. Now in this multiple openings, we call it as a mucosal or glandular tissues that are connected to the body's opening. So our skin, mucosal as well as the glandular tissues, these are the first line of defense that helps to protect our body from the outside. Apart from that, we have some chemical barriers. Chemical barriers means our body produces some chemicals which helps to protect ourselves from pathogens. For example, our skin. Our skin is slightly acidic in nature. So this acidic pH of the skin or vaginal opening, so they help to protect ourselves or they help to prevent the entry of pathogens from these areas. So this we call as the chemical barriers. These are specialized soluble molecules. Even under the skin also we have multiple such soluble molecules that constitute the chemical barriers, as well as in all our openings we have some specialized soluble molecules that helps to protect. Then we have some cells under innate immune response. So mainly these are phagocytic cells that comes under the innate immunity, under which we have macrophages mainly and the neutrophils. Now, other receptors induce the production of substances that have a variety of beneficial effects, including direct antimicrobial activity and the recruitment of fluids, cells, or molecules to the site of infection. This influx causes swelling and other physiological changes, which we call it as the inflammations. Even the dendritic cells are also comes under innate immunity. Natural killer cells also comes under innate immunity. So the neutrophils and macrophages, how they kill the pathogens that enter our body? Via phagocytosis, by engulfing the pathogens and then digesting them. Dendritic cell, it will capture the pathogens and present it to the lymphocyte. So that's how the dendritic cell protects our body, because it activates the adaptive immune system of our body. Natural killer cells. If any pathogens enter our body, for example viruses, and they infect our cells already, now those infected cells which are already attacked by any virus, so those infected cells are killed by natural killer cells. So these are the cells of our innate immune system. Now this diagrammatic representation, what it is showing is, this is the skin, so which constitutes the physical barrier against the infection. It produces acid. Our skin is slightly acidic, which forms the chemical barrier to infection. Apart from acid, some antimicrobial proteins and peptides are also present. Now, whenever there is a damage in the skin or in the tissue, the pathogen will enter. Now, this pathogen can either go and infect any cell. Already it infected any cell. Now, this infected cell will be killed by NK cell. So that's how the pathogen got killed in our body. The pathogen entered our body and successfully infected one cell. Now that one cell will be killed by NK cell. And that's how along with that cell, the pathogens also got killed. So this is the one way. The second is, as soon as the pathogen entered our body, some molecules will come and bind to it. Now these molecules will activate certain cells. These intermediary cells will produce cytokines and chemokines, and that's how it can call adaptive or other responses of our body. So the second line is the pathogen entered, which is got recognized by some molecules of our body. These molecules will activate certain intermediary cell which will produce the cytokines or chemokines, calling the adaptive immune response of our body. Also, because of these cytokines, what we can get is the inflammation. Now, after the cell activation, another way is these cells can produce some chemicals which are antimicrobial in nature, and that's how it can eliminate the pathogen. The next line is the pathogen can get engulfed by macrophages or neutrophils. In the meantime, there are dendritic cells that will take some pathogens and will present it to the adaptive immune system. The T cells and antibodies are the adaptive immune system of our body. So these are the different ways by which our body tries to protect ourselves whenever it is under the attack of pathogens. Now, this table is showing the difference between innate and adaptive immune system. So, first of all, the response time. So, response time in case of innate immune system is within minutes or hours. For adaptive immune system, it is days. Why? Because in the last slide, we learned that whenever any pathogens come and attack our body, the cells or the molecules of innate immune system will first interact with the pathogen. After they interact with the pathogens, they only will activate the adaptive immune system. Either the cells or some molecules will activate the adaptive immune system. So that means whenever the pathogens entered our body, first of all, the innate immune system come into play. They will activate the adaptive immune system, and that's how this adaptive immune system will come into play. So it will take some time. So the response time of adaptive immune system is in days, whereas for innate immune system, it is within minutes and hours. Next, come to its specificity. So innate immune systems are specific for molecules or molecular patterns. Like we are saying that any pathogen, when entered our body, it is recognized by the innate immune system. Now, how this innate immune system will recognize that this is pathogen and not the self cells? Because in the pathogen body, there are some patterns, or we can say them as a molecules, whatever we want, right? So there are some patterns on the pathogens which are not found in our self cell. Now these pathogens get recognized by the receptors present on the innate immune systems. So in the innate immune system, that means the cells or the molecules, they have these pattern recognition receptor, PRR, pattern recognition receptor. This will recognize the patterns that are present on the pathogens. And that's how they recognize that this is pathogen and not the self cell. So they are very specific for these patterns. Now, in case of adaptive immune system, they are highly specific and they can discriminate between even the minor differences in the molecular structures of microbial and non-microbial molecules. So, here in case of innate, they differentiate only on the basis of these patterns. Whereas in case of adaptive, they can even differentiate the self and the non-self on the basis of very minute molecular changes. For example, this is self cell and this blue one is a foreign cell. Now, in foreign cell, we have some patterns here. Similarly, we have patterns on self cell as well. Now, say for example, these two patterns are very similar. There is only a 1 point difference. So, this difference can be recognized by the cells of adaptive immune system. Now coming to diversity, because in case of innate immune system, they identify antigens or pathogens by these patterns. They identify the general patterns. Whereas in case of adaptive immune system, these are highly diverse. Like if any antigen 1 enters our body, for that they will be having some cells of adaptive immune system A1. If any other antigen A2 enters our body, we have AA2 adaptive immune cells. So these are highly specific for different antigen. Whereas in case of innate immune system, whether it is A1 or A2, maybe it will have AA. So general for all the antigens, whereas adaptive is highly specific. Coming to memory response, we have much more persistent memory in case of adaptive immune system. Coming to the discrimination between self and non-self, for innate immunity, it is perfect. No microbe-specific self or non-self pattern in the host. Whereas in case of adaptive, it is very good. Occasional failure leads to autoimmune diseases. Now, why it happens? Understand this situation with a daily life example. Say, for example, a person A who is very vigilant and very active and doubt every other individual's activity, due to which it is very difficult to cheat that person A. Now, take another fellow, person B, who is a good fellow, but he did some small mistake. Now, this person A, who is very vigilant and doubt everybody, and because of which it is very difficult to cheat that person A, he will start doubting person B because he did some mistake. But person B is a very good fellow. He did a very small mistake, and due to which now this person A will think that person B came to cheat him, and he will start beating that fellow. So what happened? B is a good fellow but got beaten by person A because person A thought that B is a bad fellow because of that small mistake. So when any person is very vigilant and he doubts everybody, so in that case, sometimes he can mistakenly consider a good fellow as a bad fellow due to very small mistakes also. So that's what happens with adaptive immune system. Adaptive immune system is very specific. Even for very small difference in the antigens from the host cell, he can recognize that antigen as an antigen. Now, due to this good nature or good property of adaptive immune system, sometimes it start harming the own cells. Why? Because in our body, if the adaptive immune system find any small difference in the normal cells also, the adaptive immune system will consider that normal cell as a antigen or foreign and start attacking that normal cells only. But the normal cell is the part of our cell. So when the adaptive immune system will attack the normal cell, what it is doing? It is harming ourselves only because it is doubting each and every cell with a very minute molecular structural difference also. So that is the cause of autoimmune. Auto means it will start harming ourselves only due to maybe, for example, due to any small substructural changes also. So due to which the self-non-self discrimination is perfect in case of innate immunity, but it is very good in case of adaptive immune system because the immune system doubts everybody. It doubts every cell of the body, every cells that enter from outside our body. And because of this excess of doubting, sometimes is mistakenly considered self-self as a non-self cells and start attacking our self cells only. And that's how we get the autoimmune disease. Now coming to soluble component of the blood, in case of innate immune system, we have multiple peptides, proteins and mediator, whereas in case of adaptive, we have antibodies and cytokines. Major cell types of innate immune system, all the phagocytes, natural killer cells, epithelial cells and endothelial cell. Whereas in case of adaptive immune system, we have T cells, B cells and antigen presenting cells. So that's all for this video for the introduction of innate immunity. If you found the video informative, please do like, share and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the next video notification. Till then, stay safe, stay happy.